What is up, YouTube? It is me, Gibby the Great, or the Great Gibby, here to bring you guys a different kind of video. If I seem pissed off, that's because I am, but I'd rather not talk about that right now. Okay? Okay. So here is my first ever top 10. This is my top 10 favorite Pokemon. I've said this sentence 100 times. Jesus Christ. So here's how it's going to work. The Pokemon in the 10th spot will be my least favorite Pokemon out of all these Pokemon. The Pokemon in the number 1 spot will be my favorite Pokemon of all time. Now, here's something that I have to add on to this. And that is the fact that it doesn't matter if one spot is taken up by not multiple Pokemon. Basically, I may not be able to choose one Pokemon out of all the evolutionary lines that there are. So a spot might have one whole evolutionary line. For example, if, say, number 3 has, like, the, I don't know, the Noivern line. And, I mentioned that I like, I don't know, Noivern for blah, 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 blah. That's okay, because, well, this is my top 10 list. And I've been wanting to get this list out to you guys. Although, fuck me, right? Ha ha! Ha, yeah, I'm so funny. Okay, so here's number 10. Number 10 is just my least favorite out of all these favorite Pokemon of mine. Number 10 is Marianna. And it's only number 10 just because there are way more Pokemon that I love, way better than Marianna. And, well, there's also the added bonus of the fact that it's a dog. And I love dogs. Well, it's a wolf, but a wolf is a dog. The next Pokemon on this list is, well, I'm going to give this Pokemon, I'm going to have that be, oh my god. Alright, sorry about that. I forgot what it was for a minute. Now I remember, I'm sorry. Number 9 is Ampharos. Just because, well, I think it looks cool. And I've used Ampharos on my Pokemon teams a bunch of times. And I love it every time I use it. Up next is Pikachu. I know that's kind of a shocker, just because of the shirt that I'm wearing. And because of the fact that if you look up, you can see a Pikachu, and there's a bunch of other Pikachu-related things in this room of mine. However, Pikachu's not my favorite, surprisingly. That would have to be the fact, I hate admitting it, but Pikachu is just, I just love more Pokemon than Pikachu. And that's why he's number 8. Number 7. Number 7 is easily the example that I gave. Number 7 is definitely the Salamence line. I love the evolutionary line from Bagon to Salamence. Just because, well, in one of its Pokédexes, it states that it dreams to fly. And I believe in one of its Pokédexes, it states that it throws itself off of cliffs, just hoping that it'll fly one time. And, well, what does Salamence do when it first evolves? It learns how to fly. Literally, that's the first move that it learns when it turns into Salamence. So, that's why I love this evolutionary line so much. So, number 6, I'd have to give number 6 to, well, Charizard. I love Charizard because, well, it looks awesome. And also, I love how in Generation 6, Charizard got um, that much wanted dragon typing that everyone wanted. And even I wanted. I love the fact that it gets that dragon type that it actually, in my opinion, deserved. And that's probably the main reason why most people chose Charizard in Generation 1s, because they probably thought it was a dragon type. Now, this next spot is another example of this spot as spot number 7. This next evolutionary line, this next one is another evolutionary line. And that is, well, Goomy. I love Goomy's evolutionary line just because it goes from stated in its Pokédex, it goes from the weakest Pokemon ever to one of the most strongest Pokemon ever. And its level up moveset is amazing. Come on. It learns Power Whip. And that's a really good move. I don't know if that's a brand new Generation 7 move, but I know for a fact it learns it. And it's also, yeah. Alright, so I know this one's a very loved Pokemon, but I love it just enough to put it on this list, and enough to give it to the number 4 spot. The number 4 spot, I'd say, goes to Lucario. And not for its mega or for its origin or anything. Just because I just simply love it. Its design is awesome. And, well, its typing is even better. So, that's why it's on this list. So, my number 3 favorite Pokemon, my third favorite Pokemon of all time is definitely, Sceptile. And the fact that they gave Sceptile a Mega in Generation 6, well, later on in Generation 6 with Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, just makes him even better in my opinion. And, I always chose, Treecko in Generation, in Generation 3, or any form of a Gen 3 remake. I always loved going with Treecko. And that's because, well, it's a good Pokemon. So leave me alone. So yeah, number 3 goes to Sceptile, like I said. Number 2 is Greninja. Now, I was going to put Greninja at number 1, but I realized that there is one Pokemon I love a little bit more than Greninja. And that Pokemon will be mentioned at the number 1 spot. But right now, let's focus on Greninja. First of all, I just want to point out that it's a ninja. And ninjas are cool. And also, its signature move is called Water Shuriken. It's literally throwing shurikens made out of water. And they get more powerful. And then there's also its abilities that it can have. Of course it has Torrent, but it can also have, well, Protein, which changes its type depending on the move that you use. And in Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, it can have, I forgot the ability, but it basically references Ash Greninja. For every time you want to battle with Greninja, or you defeat a Pokemon with Greninja, it'll transform to Ash Greninja. Now, a lot of people don't see why this makes sense, and why want it turn into you. Well, that's the whole point of it. It's Ash Greninja, not you Greninja. If it's considering that it's Ash Greninja, makes it even better in Generation 7. But still, I love Greninja, but not enough to be number 1, unfortunately. Number 1 on this list is definitely Garchomp. Now, I was debating in my head whether or not to put Garchomp and Greninja around, to flip them around. But the one thing that ultimately made me put Garchomp on this list before as number 1 instead of Greninja It's just because I used Garchomp before I used Greninja. Or maybe it's the other way around. But anyways, it was definitely, no. I definitely used a Garchomp before Generation 6. Maybe not through the whole entire game, but I definitely used it. That and, when you just look at it, right now, look up a picture of Garchomp and tell me that that doesn't look cool. Now, before I end off this list, I'm going to name off three honorable mentions. Specifically 3, though, because I don't want this video to get too long and then have to take forever to upload. So here are my 3 honorable mentions that I do have to say that they didn't make out on the list, but if it is a top 13, then they definitely would have made it on this list. And that would be Apom, just because of the anime, and then 2 others, which are Reshiram, which is one of my favorite legendaries, and, well, Rayquaza. And the reason why those were on this list at all is because I have 2 lists where I'll have a list exclusive for them in the future. That's only if you enjoy this video. But if you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, please. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye. Oh God.